May this message lead you to a deep reflection on the processes and tools of self-transformation provided by the renowned yogi Sadhguru. If you want to start your yoga journey with Sadhguru, click on the link in the description of this video and learn more.
World Health Organization made a prediction there will be a mental health pandemic. But this is not something that has to happen. If you want to fix this, you need to…
Sadhguru, one of the most viewed gurus in the world.
His mission is to raise every human being to the peak of their potential, who has built one of the largest nonprofit organizations in the world.
We have more than any other generation ever had in terms of comforts and technologies. Yet, we are miserable people. You want to be something more all the time. That's why you suffer. Just tell me, is there one thing that human beings are not suffering? Somebody is poor, they suffer their poverty. Somebody becomes rich, they suffer the taxes. If they're not married, they suffer, get married. I don't have to say anything. You're making up a purpose to bring some meaning to your life. But if you try to enhance your activity without enhancing yourself, you'll only die of stress.
What about trauma?
You're finding an excuse for the way you are, which you yourself don't like. If something unpleasant happened to you, you have two choices. Either you can become wise or you can become wounded. Your experience of life is determined by you. If your happiness depends on what happens on the outside, you being happy is a remote possibility.
I want to be happy. What's step one?
There is a simple practice which will only take 21 minutes, and this is when human beings can do something absolutely fantastic. First thing is,
I just want to start this episode with a message of thanks. A thank you to everybody that tunes in to listen to this podcast. By doing so, you've enabled me to live out my dream, but also for many members of our team to live out their dreams too. It's one of the greatest privileges I could never have dreamed of or imagined in my life, to get to do this, to get to learn from these people, to get to have these conversations, to get to interrogate them from a very selfish perspective, trying to solve problems I have in my life. So I feel like I owe you a huge thank you for being here and for listening to these episodes and for making this platform what it is. Can I ask you a favor? I can't tell you how much you can change the course of this podcast, the course of the guests we're able to invite to the show, and to the course of everything that we do here, just by doing one simple thing. And that simple thing is hitting that subscribe button. Helps this channel more than I could ever explain. The guests on this platform are incredible because so many of you have hit that button. And I know when we think about what we want to do together over the next year on this show, a lot of it is going to be fueled by the amount of you that are subscribed and that tune into this show every week. So thank you. Let's keep doing this. And I can't wait to see what this year brings for this show, for us as a community, and for this platform. You're on.
well, today, a few months ago, the WHO or the World Health Organization made a prediction that there is going to be a mental health pandemic. At least 5 years ago, none of us knew what is a pandemic. Today, we all know what is a pandemic. And they've gone further and they said the next stage is there will be a suicide pandemic. Just to put it in perspective, in 2020, when the pandemic was in full swing all over the world, in Japan, more people died of suicide than of the pandemic. So we don't really need the virus, that's all I'm saying. Because the virus has gotten into our head, because once survival is taken care of, if you do not become conscious, the way you sit, stand, breathe, think, emote and function within yourself, if it does not become conscious, you will naturally head downhill. This is just September 23rd, I completed 40 years of this work. So 40 years ago, I was a young man. One afternoon, when I had nothing much to do, somehow an hour and a half gap was there for me in the work. I was working like morning, 5:30 in the morning to 11 in the night, building various kinds of businesses around me. So when I got a break, there's a small hill. This hill is a place where we go and for the youth. When I was a kid, I cycled up this hill, we camped on this hill, we partied on this hill. If we want to test our motorcycles, we went up the hill. Just about anything you want to do, the youth, go to Chamundi Hill. This is the thing. I just walked up and sat on a rock. My eyes were still open. I thought it's just 10, 15 or 20 minutes. Suddenly I started feeling every cell in my body literally dripping ecstasy. I thought this lasted 15, 20 minutes, but when I came back to my normal senses, 4.5 hours had passed. For the first time in my adult life, tears, me and tears were simply impossible. Tears to a point my shirt is all wet. Then I shake my skeptical mind and ask what the hell is happening to me. All I knew was I had hit a gold mine and there was no context. Nobody around me could tell me what was happening with me, nor did I know what was happening with me. This is something that most people will experience in their lives. On a certain day when they're very happy, 24 hours feels like 10 minutes. Another day when you're depressed, 10 minutes will feel like 24 hours. Time is a very relative experience. When you're so blissed out, what is 2 minutes, it's 8 hours, 10 hours, just gone like that. So in about 6 to 8 weeks, I came to some kind of stabilization within myself and started experimenting as to what is happening to me. Then I realized, if I keep a little distance from my physiological and psychological activity that's going on, if I just remove myself a little bit, then within a few seconds or within a couple of minutes, every cell in my body is bursting with ecstasy. Now, this is not just my experience. Today we have it measured out in Harvard Medical School, how there is endocannabinoids are bursting out in people simply because they do a simple practice. So I made a plan in 2.5 years' time, I will make the whole world blissed out. I knew the methodology. If you just keep a distance, it'll happen. 40 years now. Today, people are saying we are touching over 2 billion people. Last year, our video views have been 3.51 billion. So, people think that's great. But no, that is less than half the population as far as I'm concerned, because I started thinking I'll make the whole world blissed out. But people are committed to their miseries, either because of their beliefs or their ideologies or their compulsive behavior within themselves. So it needs to happen to the whole world. I don't see this as a mission, I just see this as an expression of my humanity. Suppose you hear a good joke, will you tell somebody who's dear to you, or will you cover yourself with a blanket and tell yourself?
Of course, I'd tell everybody.
Yeah.
Pretend it was mine.
That's all I'm trying to do, no mission. My experience, I'm trying to just rub it off on people.
Some stats for you that support what you said earlier. Someone dies by suicide in the UK every 90 minutes. 76% of them are male. The single biggest cause of death for men under the age of 45 here in the UK is by suicide. You said you spent a lot of time around business people, and they appear to be the most unhappy and least blissful people.
I wouldn't say unhappy, stressed out.
Stressed out. What is it that we're doing to them? Because I see myself, I must be in that category to some regard, because I've focused most of my time on, building businesses and, I guess to some extent material things and success. So I must be part of that
That
cohort.
is a diversionary tactic in the sense. So you can think that survival means 2 meals a day, or you can think survival means Bentley. So it'll keep you busy a little longer. Still survival process. As long as the survival, there's an instinct of survival and there is a longing to expand within the human being. So, for most human beings, these two things are mixed up. It is their instinct of survival which is finding expression as their longing to expand. So it doesn't matter who you are, where you are, anybody, you want to be something more. If that something more happens, you want to be something more. You can go on like this, how much more? Whatever you want, if I make it true for you right now, next moment you'll be thinking, what more? Suppose I make you the king of, not England, the planet. Don't look at me hopefully, I will not commit such a blunder. Suppose we make you the king of this planet, will you be fulfilled? No, you will look at the moon, you look at the other planets, you look at the other galaxies. If I give you one galaxy, you'll say, what about the other galaxy? Because there is something within a human being which wants to expand limitlessly.
Is that not a good thing? Is that not the reason why?
I didn't say it's not good. I'm just saying you have constipated that longing to expand. That's why you suffer. When I say constipated, right now you want to expand limitlessly. Can you expand this body limitlessly?
No.
Please don't. Don't try.